We just wanna travel the world, travel the world.
Hey, Offbeat family, welcome back to another episode where we're going to explore an unconventional path and just kind of a way to stay connected with the world while staying adventurous and living an international, well lived life. Today, we're sitting down with Marquita Wright, also known as the Traveling Twin Mama. She's a wonderful working full-time mom and full-time working mom who travels the world with her twin sons. Yeah, you heard that right. Twin sons. Uh, they're building more than just memories. Marquita is passionate about raising kids who are confident, adaptable, and empathetic. So today, really, the idea is that your kids are learning more than geography, and we're going to explore how to make that stick. So today, we're talking about how cultural immersion works, the real world exposure, and how that can help young travelers grow into capable and compassionate individuals. So let's dive in. Hello, Marquita.
Hello, how are you, David?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
Well, it's nice to actually finally meet you. I know you and I have been messaging for about almost a year now, off and on, back and forth. And your travels have well, they've taken a lot of turns since then, even. So it would have been interesting to hear your story a year ago or so when we were in Mexico, but now I know you've done a lot more in the last year. Some
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, you had a huge thing on your Instagram recently. I saw that you've been where you went to how many countries in 2024?
Oh, oh, I can't remember. You're pop quizzing me of how many countries I went to in 2024.
I think you said like I think your Instagram was 10 countries, a
I
lot of
may have.
states.
I may have. Yeah. 2024 feels like 8 years ago.
Yeah, I hear that. Like, well, since I feel like I know you a little bit, but I know our audience is just getting to know you, so I thought we'd start with a little icebreaker round. Are you up for that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. What was your first whoa, we're not in the US moment anymore when you were traveling as a family?
Ooh, as a family.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not in the U.S. Also, I think the first times we took the boys to Thailand, and they were like 1 years old. They just turned one, and I don't know if it's the Thai people themselves or the culture or what, but they were fascinated with the twins. Like they kept stopping and waving at them, and I think the boys thought that they were famous because they were just spending the whole day waving at people. People wanted to stop and take pictures with them. It was very like, this is quite different than, just walking around at home in New Orleans. So I think that was the first moment of like, whoa, twins is something special here.
Wow. We had a similar experience when we took our first international trip. Our son was 14 months at the time, and we did Cambodia, Thailand, and China on the way back. And yeah, it was the same thing. It was like he was this celebrity. Everybody wanted a picture with the blonde little boy. It was
Yeah.
hilarious. So yeah, I totally understand that feeling. If you haven't traveled with a baby, it's worth it just for those types of moments. You get this like your kid is a celebrity. Everybody treats you differently and special. You get ahead of all the
Yes.
lines. Yeah, at least we did.
Yes, it's hilarious. We have so many pictures of him being held by little Thai and Chinese women. They just loved him.
Well, what's one travel essential that you never leave home without?
Ooh, a travel essential that I never leave my tripod. Recently, it would be my tripod. I never leave home without my tripod when traveling.
Ah, so I have not gotten used to using the tripod. I'm mostly just still carrying it around, or I'll mount it somewhere. But
Yeah, if I don't, especially if traveling with the kids, if I don't use my tripod, then normally I'm not in the photos, or the photos or videos of me are not flattering.
Ah, I get that. Okay. Now, I know your boys are growing. If they could pick the next country to visit, where would they want to go and why?
They wanna go to China.
Ah,
They wanna go to no, they wanna go to Japan because, Beyblades they are made in Japan, so they wanna go to Japan for Beyblades, and then the other one wants to go to China because he wants to learn how to do kung fu,
hey, okay.
because he watched The Karate Kid, and now he wants to go.
The new one or the one with the
The old one
Jaden?
with
Okay.
Jaden Smith.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so that's really interesting. We just got back from Japan and we saw Beyblades all over in some of the stores. I was like so surprised because our son had gotten out of that over the last 5 years of the traveling. We took him to, when we first started traveling, took his Beyblades, but now he could care less. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was more interested in the anime that all everywhere. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
So, all right. And what what's something that one of the boys said or did while traveling that made you think they really get it?
Oh. Oh, that's a good one. Something that they said or did. So, I can't remember where we were, but they were playing with other children. They didn't know clearly the language, but how they were playing. And then later on, they were like, "Oh yeah, I was playing with so and so. I don't know his name because we don't speak the same language, but it was really fun. Like that, very innocent. Like play is the language, but that's all we need is play."
Oh yeah, I think all of us parents, especially if your kid has ever been in a group where they didn't speak the same language as the other kids, it's really weird because you see them go off and play, and it's a whole game, and then they come back to you and like, so what'd you talk about? Oh, we didn't talk, we just
Yeah, we
played.
played. Exactly. It's great.
Well, you've said that travel builds confidence. Can you share a moment when you saw that in action?
Yeah, I think travel builds confidence because they are able to do things on their own. So even small things of like giving the person their passport or putting their own stuff on into the x-ray machine, like the smile that they get on their face, like, hey, I am doing exactly what adults are doing and I'm doing a great job at it, right? So they are realizing that they have a skill set and they can do that skill just as good as the 78-year-old dude right next to them, right? So I think that's a part of building the confidence
I got that. Yeah,
in,
that's really,
in even the smallest ways.
yeah, I like that. That's really, yeah, that's really good. All right. So, so that our listeners out there, they can know who you are. How did you get into traveling? Is this something that's really been in you your whole life, or did you grow into traveling?
Yeah, so I didn't travel that much as a kid. My first international trip wasn't until a study abroad in college, my junior year. I studied abroad in Querétaro, Mexico. And then after that, I don't think I took my next international trip until after I graduated, and really once I started met my husband, well, my now husband, we were dating. He was and so instead of we were dating long distance, so instead of meeting each other just in our hometowns, we would choose a destination to travel to together. So that's when I was like, oh, okay, I like this little traveling thing. But it went to the next level where it is today because of where I work full time. I have a global role, so I get to travel the world with my company, talking to customers and different conferences and whatnot. And that is when it was like, oh my God, there's a whole new world out there. And lucky for me, a lot of times when I'm traveling with them, I'm traveling with locals. So I get to try some of the local foods. Get to go to their homes. Like my Indian coworker invited me to their house, and his mom cooked for me. I got to try on one of her saris. It's like one of the most memorable times of traveling. So that's when it really went to the next level of seeing how people really live and asking locals questions and trying their food. So that's when the love just was like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, I can see that. When you travel with locals, it's just so much better, so much different.
Yes.
Yes. And then again, I love that you are an Instagrammer as well. Is that something that you wanted to do? Did you want to be an Instagrammer when you found that you were going to be traveling?
No, I traveled free. Like I look back at my footage before I became got on Instagram. It was photos were horrible. I was the person that was like, my husband loved taking photos. I'm like, bro, like why do we keep having to take all these pictures? So half of the pictures, my face is like giving him the ugly face of like, why another picture? Seriously? So no, I was not looking to be an Instagram influencer or content creator. It more came from once I started traveling with my kids, people started asking me questions on how to travel with kids, especially twins. What to use, what destinations is best, can I take this or that? And I don't like repeating myself. So I said, okay, how can I put this information out so people know where to find the resources? Because I want to help them. I just don't want to have a conversation with every single person in detail. So that's where the blog and Instagram came from. So now I can just simply send a link. And then if you have specific questions, I'm more than happy to answer those questions.
Very, very nice. Yeah, that kind of takes us to the fact that why we're here today. We're talking about like raising kids and doing that while you're traveling, and you've been doing it since they were babies. Uh,
Yeah.
so how do you encourage their independence, their problem solving while you're on the road as well?
Oh, that's a really good question. So I think independence, a lot of it, especially now that they're 7, it's even starting with the planning. So at the beginning of this year, we were like, where do you guys want to go? And so for every location that they want to go to, we go on YouTube or something like that, and we show them different options of like, this is the different things that they have to offer in this city, and then they get to choose, right? So they get to be a part of the planning, especially now that they're older. I think that gives them some kind of like, this is my trip. Like this is my part of the trip. This is what we need. So I'm like, what do we need to get there? Tell us what we need to be doing. What are we going to go see? And so they have ownership of that portion of it.
Yep.
I think also a part of that independence is, and it kind of sounds weird, but like kids clubs, even something super simple like that, where starting at 3 or 4 years old, they're not with us. Like we let them go to the kids club for a period of time. Of course, we make sure everything is safe and whatnot, but that gives them independence of like not being underneath their parent all day, every day. You have to find friends. Yeah, you might not speak the same language, figure out how to play together, figure out what you have in common, right? And so that it and it's like one of the most heartwarming things to see your kid like interacting with someone else that they don't even speak the same language, but they have compassion for that person. They are working with that person. They're not looking at the differences. They're looking at the similarities, and everyone's having fun, and we all can have fun.
Yes, kids clubs are awesome. When we do go that route and travel to those types of resorts and places that have kids clubs, it's a must. I mean, even on the cruise ships, when we do that, when we use them for our repositionings, we send our kid off. He always signed up for them. Now he can sign himself in and out, but he makes so
I
many,
love it.
he makes himself so many friends this way. Yes, yes,
And it gives him independence, right? And it's like, okay, I'm giving you this independence. I'm trusting that you'll make good choices. And they do it, right? So because they know the pros and cons, they want to feel the independence and they want to be able to have some kind of freedom. And so we've had great experiences with it.
yeah. Not just freedom, but there's unpredictability that comes out of it all. Uh,
Yes.
how do you think that unpredictability helps your kids grow?
Oh, I think it allows you to, or allows them to realize that things are not always going to go as expected. So be prepared as much as you can. but then you have to be able to just roll with the punches, right? And I think that is a problem with a lot of adults, really, right? They have a hard time rolling with the punches. It's like, oh, my flight was supposed to be this time, and now we can't go, and now people are in uproar at the airport and acting crazy and whatnot. And it's like, you know what? Just we brought extra snacks. Let's go to the lounge. Let's walk around. Let's play a game. Like, how do we make things that could get us in a bad mood, how do we use those and still have a good time, right? We can't let something that doesn't go as planned ruin our day or ruin our fun. We'll pivot. And we'll figure it out.
Pivot. I like that. Yes. And teaching a kid to pivot, that's a tough skill, but it's
It is very tough. But then I think what travel helps is like, but hey, we got to pivot because you want to go to this place because you've made your whole itinerary of the thing. So we're going to get there, right?
yep.
So let's learn, let's roll with the punches so we can get there and we can have the fun that you expected. It may not happen today, but that doesn't mean that it won't happen tomorrow. And that also delayed gratification, right? So it's like it's still there. The city hasn't left. It is still where it was. Those activities are still available. We just gotta wait a little longer.
Yeah. And then how do you introduce new cultures in a meaningful way while you travel?
Ooh, that's a oh, I love that too. So, what we will try to do is do a little research so that they can kind of get an idea of what that culture is about. And food is the greatest way to do it. So, for example, when we went to Colombia, just as an example, I was like, okay, well, let's find a Colombian restaurant here in New Orleans so that you can try some of the food, right? You can get exposed to what they have. You can see what you like, what you don't like. It's also ran by like people who are from Colombia. You can ask them questions. So it really allows them to like kind of put their toe in the water a little bit and to get exposed to the country before you get there. And it also shows like, hey, where we live is a bit of a melting pot as well. You don't necessarily have to go to Colombia to experience parts of Colombia. So it's that 2-for-1 special that we like to try to mingle when possible.
Yeah. I know being in a city like New Orleans has got to be really interesting for being that melting pot. I mean, it's kind of like what America is. It's a melting pot, and you really get to see
Yes,
everything. And then I can
yes,
see what you're saying when you eat there, and then we can go to this little area of town, and then we can go experience their culture in the country that those people might have originated from, and see talk about the differences that we notice because we all notice that there's a
exactly.
little difference. The Mexican Americans have different food in America, a little bit different culture than they do when you're living it down in Mexico. Same thing for
Right.
Chinese food. It's totally different than it is when
It's
you're actually in
totally
China.
different. It's actually good in China.
So there's little things that you can teach the kids and show them, and they can see that comparison as well when you're even living in a city like yours without having to go too far to do that.
Exactly. And I think that brings it back, right? Of like, we're not talking about this place that even if it's far, that doesn't mean that these people are different, like in a weird, strange, non-approachable way. They live down the street from you. Like you go to the same coffee shop as them, right? So it's not like this division. It shows that more or less we're all the same. You may like your rice this way, I may like my rice that way, but more we both eat rice, right? Like so and that is the key for me is that I want to expose my kids to the similarities, right? And then also appreciate the differences.
Oh, I like that. That's really good. Yeah. And then, well, travelers tend to get a bad rap at times for coming in, experiencing, leaving, or just taking and then leaving. Um, how or what kind of powerful moments can you think of in your travels where your family has made a connection with locals during the travels?
Oh yeah. So I actually will go back to Colombia because we went to Palenque, which is the first free city or first city in the Americas from free enslaved people.
Hmm.
And that town is like kind of going back, right? Where it is all locals. They have a medicine man. We got to meet the medicine man. We got to drum with the drummers in the community. The kids got to play with the kids at the playground. Like it was most definitely one of those experiences where we we felt a part of the culture. Like we're walking the same streets, we're interacting with them, we're hearing their stories, and so they're my kids are dancing with them and playing the drums, like they're buying my boys like little sweet treats, local sweet treats, right? Try letting them try it. So we do try to find local experiences where they're actually able to meet some of the locals and at least experience how they live. If it's not only just for a couple of hours, at least they get to try to experience it.
Yeah, okay. And Palenque, is that near Cartagena or is that on the coast?
It's yeah, near Cartagena. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It wasn't that long of a drive.
We might have driven past that on our way down. We went to Mompox from Cartagena, so we
Ah,
might have driven past that. Yeah, I'm not. It's been a couple of years now since we've been there, so all right. So
okay.
that's very interesting. Yeah, Colombian people are so friendly and open and ready to share their culture. Like the minute we
Yes.
got there, people wanted to teach us this is how we do things. This is why we do it. And it was just like, wow. So,
And I think that's when tourists get a bad rep, when they are trying to teach you how they do things, and you're like, "You put what in your coffee?" Like, where's where? Excuse me, where are the forks? Oh, you eat with your hands, but like, why? Like, you're in their country. If they eat with their hands, wash your hands and then eat with your hands, right? At least try to live as much as possible like the locals. Like that's like someone coming in your house and like, you painted your walls blue. Mm, why would you do that, right? It's just like
yep.
at least try to experience it. And if you don't like it, then that's fine. But you ain't got to tell them, I don't like this blue in your house. You really should have did a different color, right? You can just keep your mouth shut.
Exactly. And well, now, how do you think that your sons see the world now, as they've been traveling with you for most of their lives?
Yeah. I think they see everything close. They're like, "Why can't we go to Japan tomorrow? I don't understand." Like, "No, no, we should go to Japan. Like, I have a break like him today. I'm off today. We should go to Japan." It's like, "Friend, it doesn't work." That's why we have this map behind me. Friend, it doesn't work that way. Like, we're over here, Japan is over there. Like, let's look up how long it takes to get from one place to another. So, they think that the world is small in that sense of like everyone is accessible. We can try different cultures, which is it's great where they kind of feel that way that they belong anywhere that they want to go to. That is actually another reason I travel with my boys because I want them to know that no matter where they want to go, they belong and they have they can get the opportunity to do it. So I think that is what has changed in their mind. It's like, oh, it's just a flight away. Let's do it. Let's go.
Have you ever been anywhere with them where you didn't feel welcome or it just wasn't your cup of tea and you were ready to move on?
Not with them.
Uh,
No, not with them. People usually when I'm with the boys, I'm just trying to think through it, especially folks are like, "Twins! Hi! Do you want a cookie?" So they're normally very open. So no, not with them. By myself, yes, but not with them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's probably that happens all the time. I mean, but yeah, when you bring the kid into the equation, it changes a lot of people's. It's just like, oh, kids all around the
Exactly.
world.
It's a yes. I mean, and that's great, right? Like if you're meeting a kid, then that's another type of cold-hearted person.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a lot of I've seen, and I don't like to speak ill about anything, but I've been in a lot of places, and even traveling around the U.S. And there's places where they're like, no kids allowed here, but almost never see no kids allowed rule, or hear people say that when you're in most of the other countries I've been in. Everybody likes to have kids around. They like them to be seen and heard. It's really interesting in a lot of most places we've been to.
100%. Most other countries are so much more kid friendly at restaurants. They have a place for the kids to play, even if it's just a little corner with a table and some crayons and pencils. They are most definitely more welcoming for children to be a part of everyday life because guess what? We all were children.
We
So
all were children.
I have noticed that in most countries, people are very, very welcome to children.
Yeah. Can you share a time where they might have shown a deeper understanding or compassion because of something that they experienced on one of your trips abroad?
Ooh, okay. So, one of the boys recently started a new school this school year. He started a new school, and this school is actually very diverse, especially compared to the last school he was with. So there's probably like 30, 30, 30 if I'm talking about black, white, and Hispanic of some sort, right? And so he was referring to when we first walked in, he was like, "Wow, there's so many like Hispanic people here. It's kind of like being in like and then he started naming all the countries that he went to, right? That speak Spanish. He was like, "Oh, that's cool." So I remember like I think you say it like this, right? Like you say hello like this, and I'm supposed to say this back. So it was very like welcoming of cool. I go to a school where now everyone is a little different and that's cool, right? So I think that travel opened up his mind to that because most places in New Orleans is not that diverse, especially schools. Like
Ah,
I think from my experience, that's maybe one of the few schools that's that diverse and how he opens it with like open arms and he loves that about his school.
having the kids notice that because of their travels and be able to interact with that is a very interesting circumstance there that comes from it. And I like that they were able to put two and two together like that at
Yes.
such a young age.
And it was literally we just walked in the door. Like we hadn't met anyone. We were like walking in the door and he was like, "Wow, wow, look at that. That's cool. That's not what I normally see in the last two schools I've been in."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. That is kind of cool."
And now I know you're a full-time working mom. Uh,
Yeah.
that's got to be tough to balance work, travel, learning to figure out all this out and raise your kids. So, so how do you balance all of that and still get on all these travels? I mean, you said to me, I think you travel what 30, 40% now of the year?
Yeah, so it's for traveling with the kids. The biggest thing is the kids are out of school all the time. Like today, why are you out? Like, when I think I looked at the try to do when they first get the calendar, see what days they're out. And if I remember correctly, it was over a dozen times. I know that for sure, but I'm trying to remember the exact number. Maybe 12 or 15 times, like not days, times. So like
Times.
this weekend and that weekend and that. So those are great like weekend trips, right? You can make it a little longer. It works that way. And then I am not a stickler for perfect attendance. Like that is not necessary, right? As long as they're getting good grades and we communicate with the teacher, they don't have to have perfect attendance. So we may take that day that they're off, like for example, if he's off today, we may say, okay, we're gonna leave yesterday, Thursday night, and then we'll come back Monday night. So then that way we're there Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and some of Monday, right? So that is a whole 5 day, 4 night trip. That's plenty of places we can go. We can go to the West Coast here in the US, Canada, Mexico, all of Latin America is very close, like Central America. We can make that work, right? And so that is how we add trips in and it's usually on non-peak season, right? So if we would have went this weekend, only mostly business travelers are traveling now. So it's a little less expensive. We have a little more flexibility. So that is how we do most of our trips. My kids actually travel more during the school year than they do in the summer.
All right. Well, now then I think I'm going to be one of those people. That sounds hard. It sounds like
I'm
there's a
gonna
lot
say
of
it's easy.
well, the planning I think is what sounds hard. Because all right, we're full time. We've been traveling full time for about 6 years now, and so we go from city to city to city. But we don't ever have to go back home and then
Right.
like get back into a life, and then go back out, and then get back into a life, and then go back out. Eventually, I think we'll settle down and we'll start taking trips. I don't know that I want to consider myself a settled person anytime soon, but because I'm enjoying, and there's still much more
Yeah,
to
why not?
see. But um, tell me, how does it work? Because that sounds like it's a lot of work just to come back, go back into school, do your homework. I know you're not a stickler for attendance, and that's fine. Neither were we when he was in school, and his teachers were like, "Yeah, he's going to learn more while he's traveling anyway." But but how do you do all the planning and not lose your mind and still work full time?
So I think for me, the travel is the peace of mind.
Okay.
That's when I feel the most at home. That's when I feel like, oh, this is so amazing. This is so great. That is when I feel the freedom. Like if I could, I probably would be more like you and travel, not have a home, travel 24/7, but that's not the way my husband necessarily wants to live his life. So, this is our compromise of we have a home and a job and the adults, like real adults. And I still get to travel and be a nomad in my head. So it's probably the compromise of why we do it, but when we are traveling, that is when I'm enjoying it the most. And I don't feel like it's a schedule, like because I try not to overpack our schedule when we're traveling. We do one activity a day, maybe two if they're like next door to each other or just an hour or so. But that's when we feel, I think, the freest and we feel most like, ooh, this is great, right? So the transition back to school, I think that's what makes my kids adaptable as well. Like we'll get in at midnight and then they'll be at school the next day at 8 a.m.
Wow.
And it works for us, right? There's no complaining of like, I don't want to go to school. It's like, yo, you just had 5 days in California on the beach, doing X, Y, and Z while your other classmates were in school. You have nothing to complain about. Put your backpack on and let's go. Like this is what we have. You have to do certain things so you can live the lifestyle you want.
Right.
And I think that helps them recognize like this is why I get good grades. This is why I listen to my teachers. This is why I have great behavior because I want these things in return.
So that makes me think about like the naysayers in everybody's life, because we have a lot of listeners out there who are on the cusp of traveling, who listen to family and friends who say, "Don't do it. You won't have any stability, or you'll feel like a yo-yo bouncing back and forth to home and out and about and back and forth, or you're going to get murdered out there, or all the really crazy things come out of the woodwork." What do you say to the people who say it's too hard, or that they're the naysayers in your life?
Well, so first I'm gonna get murdered out there. I live in New Orleans, so there you go. Have they checked the record of the United States? So, like, do we want to go in data or do we just want to go off of opinions? Which one is it? Like, if we want to go there, we can. However, make sure you have your receipts because I will come prepared with mine. Okay. And so that is how I normally get away with that. And then after that, it's more of like hard for who? Like what's hard for me personally is the everyday. Like every day I wake up at 5 a.m. I do my blog, I do my Instagram, or I work on my personal businesses. I have to get the kids up at 6:45. They have to be at school. We leave the house by 7:35. I'm usually rushing back home at 8:30 for a meeting. I'm in meetings all day long, literally 7, 8 meetings a day. Meeting ends at 4 o'clock. I may be able to do a little work 4:45, I'm out the door to pick up the kids at 5 so that they can go to soccer practice at 6 o'clock. So I can come home and make dinner at 7. So we can get everything together for them to be in bed by 8:15. That those are my hard days. Like I don't go to bed till 11. Like those are I just did 7,822 things in 18 hours. Those are the hard days. When we travel, I'm like, okay, we're like, let's wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. We'll catch our 6 o'clock flight. But guess what? While we're on the plane, I'm watching TV. I'm listening to my audiobook. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm thinking, I'm being creative. Okay, we got to get off. Let's transfer. Now I'm back on the plane. I get to do it all over again. Once we get there, we're there. We probably go sleep in a little bit. We'll go out and explore. Like, which day sounds harder? I, Maybe they have easy lives, but this life that I live here in the United States of America every day is not easy. Like, that is not the definition of easy to me. Those are my hard days.
Yes. And I totally get that. That's why we left the rat race a long time ago and try to make it work. So I completely
Yeah, I
understand.
guess so. It depends on your definition of hard.
hmm So like now living on the road, I mean it's not like your normal like a vacation. I still work,
No.
but I do it in my time when I can, and then I can look out the window and go to an amazing temple if I want to, uh, or something along those
Yeah,
lines, or go to the beach, or go
yeah,
to the pool, and
yeah.
not feel that stress of having 10 meetings through the day.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Like I think here I felt very pulled in 17 different directions because today is crazy hat day, tomorrow is a half a day because only God knows why. Like just even schedule is it's insanity.
yeah. Well, what is one travel myth about kids that is totally false?
They won't remember. Why would you do that? They don't even remember. That's not worth your money. It's amazing what they remember, honestly. Like the trips that we took with the boys when they were like, of course they don't remember at 6 months. I'm not ridiculous, okay? But like at like 2.5, 3 years old, they're like, oh yeah. Especially if you start showing them pictures, they're like, oh, I do kind of remember that. Oh wait, was our guide, was his name Alex? And I'm like, wait, what? Like how do you remember Alex? That was 2.5 years ago. Oh yeah, he was really nice. Remember he bought me that ice cream? Yeah, he did do that. Wow. And so a lot of what they remember are the people that they interact with and the nice things that the people did for them.
That's awesome.
So it's like, oh wow, that is pretty cool.
How about confidence? Where do you think it came from faster, from travel or from school?
Oh, travel 100%, a hundred percent. Because with travel, I think let's I think with school, especially with one of my boys has ADHD. So school for him is a challenge because you have to sit in the seats, you have to do how they need you to do. Especially here in the US, it's very liberal arts, very like this is the book, this is how you do it. And so that's just not how his brain works, right? But with travel, when you're traveling, so you should be moving around, you should be asking questions, you should be exploring, you should be using all your senses. It is welcomed to be you, however you come. So he is his best self when he travels. Like I have very little behavior issues out of him when we're traveling.
All right. That's awesome. I wonder how I would have been because I was I grew up with ADHD as well. I wonder if how I would have been traveling if my parents could have handled that. But uh, it was a different
It's
world.
easier. I
It was a
promise
different world
you,
back
it's
then, though.
easier. Yeah, most definitely. Like raising him is easier when we travel than every day here at home and
But
at school. Now we found a great school now, but
yeah,
previously it's way easier traveling with him.
that's interesting. Yeah, because I probably can relate a little bit because I remember on some of our vacations where I felt free and focused. We went on fishing vacations and I had freedom to do what I want, and I remember those being very special and stuck in my brain from just that's 40 years ago.
Yeah. Seriously, right? And so
Exactly.
you're feeling in control, you're feeling confident. People are like, "Oh yeah, you're learning a ton, right? Because
Yeah.
you're learning how to fish and how does that work? The science and the mechanics behind doing all of that. You're learning it, but you're learning it in a way that feels natural to you, and no one's over there like, oh, but your T goes from top line to bottom line, right? Top
Yes.
line to bottom line. You didn't do it right, you know." It's this I think that's where you get confidence when you feel like you belong.
Yeah. And one more thing I think would be really positive for our listeners. Can you think of a time that you didn't plan for this travel lesson, but you're glad that it happened?
A travel lesson that I didn't plan for. For some reason, I'm thinking of, oh, okay, so it's kind of more of a science lesson that I didn't even think of. So we were in Honduras and we were there for a wedding for some people that are from there. And so they told us about going to like a animal nature center, something of another of that sort. So we went, and then there's these wild monkeys, right? And so the guy is trying to explain to my son, like, make sure if you're interacting with the monkey, you can't do this. Like, don't do this to the monkey.
Oh,
And
no.
so he did it, and the monkey responded in a way that he didn't like. And I think that was a very good lesson to him that in life, there are rules and there are rules that need to be followed. And if they're not followed, there are repercussions for that. Because now he's like, oh, wait, what did he say? Like the whole trip, like, what did they say? We're supposed to do what? Do this and not do that? And I'm like, exactly. We have to listen. We can't just engage with animals and other people however we want to engage with them. There are rules of engagement. And if you want them to respond a certain way, you have to engage with them in an appropriate action. So that was like, I think that's when the light bulb went off because I was like, I can't help you. I'm not fighting the monkey for you. Like that is like you're on your own, bro. So follow the rules and you get to engage with them in an appropriate way. So most definitely wasn't planned, but that taught a good response, kind of the law of engagement for him.
Fun. Okay. Well, I always like to wrap up with a little travel trivia pursuits.
Oh,
So, let's see how you do here. Are you ready?
I think I'm nervous.
All right. Trinidad. Let's start there.
Okay.
Trinidad is home to the world's largest natural deposit of what road building substance?
Road building? Uh, I don't know. Gravel?
Close. Asphalt, of all things.
Asphalt. Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, we get a lot of asphalt from Trinidad. So,
Did not know that.
imports, yay.
I do know that they do a lot of their business comes from like importing, exporting. Because my friend is married to a Trinidadian, so he's like, "Oh, tourism is not as big of a deal for us as other Caribbean countries."
Oh, interesting. Okay. Which Caribbean nation has no snakes and an underwater sculpture park?
Sculpture Park. Wait, I think I know this. Oh, wait. Because they're known for diving. But there's so many of them. Oh my goodness. But no snakes?
Starts with a G.
Grenada?
Grenada. You got it.
Yay! Thank you for the hint.
And that always works for my students too. Just give them the first letter; it helps.
Thank you.
All right. The 𝐶𝐽 ruins, a famous Mayan archaeological site, are found in which country?
The which ruins?
The 𝐶𝐽 ruins.
Copod ruins. So, in which country? Mayan. So Mayan makes me think of like Mexico or Guatemala. No, not yet.
A little further south.
I don't know. Further south.
Starts with an H.
Honduras?
Yes. First letter for the win again.
I just need a little push.
All right. What's the name of Puerto Rico's famous glowing bay?
Glowing Bay?
Apparently,
I
this
don't
bay
know.
glows in the night due to a bioluminescence called Mosquito Bay.
Mosquito? With the M?
Yes. On
No, I've never heard of that.
on Vesquez. Vesquez? I think
I
that's
have
how you
never heard that.
Ah. All right. Which Italian city floats on canals and known for gondolas?
Venice?
Venice. There you go. All right, that's 3 for 5. Want to do
Okay, yay.
want to do a couple others, or are you good?
Yeah, let's do it. It's fun. I'm learning a lot.
Where in Spain do people famously run from the bulls every July?
Madrid. Wait, is it? Wait, run from the Bulls. What is it in Madrid? Oh, not. I'm gonna stick with Madrid. Don't change your if I don't know for sure. Barcelona?
Pamplona.
Oh no, I don't know that. Pamplona.
Yeah, they do it in a smaller town apparently. I thought it was Madrid
Ah,
too. So,
hmm.
all right, I haven't been to Spain yet. Plan on going hopefully this year, maybe next.
It's pretty. We did. That's why I said Madrid because we did the bull fighting when we were in Madrid,
Okay.
which is an experience.
Yeah. Did you watch the movie first with John Cena first for the kids?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Mm-mm. We left early. We were like, this is enough.
I don't think
This is great.
I don't think I'd get my wife to go to that. So, yeah, that would be really rough. All right, Amsterdam. It's the capital of what European country?
The Netherlands.
Yes. All right. You been there?
Oh, I go all the time. Our European headquarters is in Amsterdam.
Okay, okay. All right, let's do final one, 8-1. Aruba is part of which kingdom?
The Netherlands, the Dutch.
Wow. I should have known if you know the Netherlands that well.
One part of the ABC Islands.
Yes. Well, then a bonus one then. Which country has the
Okay,
best snack or treat so far?
snacks or treats?
Yeah,
According to whose opinion?
according to your
That's
opinion.
oh, according to my opinion. Okay, I was like that depends. Snacks or treats? Snacks or treats? Mm, I'm getting hungry. Who has the best snacks or treats? I'm leaning towards Italy, and that's just because nothing beats a good gelato, you know. Um,
Ooh, yeah.
yeah, it's pretty tasty.
It is hard to beat gelato.
Yeah, it's just really good. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Italy for now
All
for
right.
snacks.
Awesome. Well, Marquita, it has been such a fun and meaningful conversation. I
Yes.
I like talking about raising kids. It's fun, especially when you're talking with somebody else who's in the process of doing it and you've done it. And confident kids are great, especially I see so many coming up from these traveling families, and this season alone we're talking to several kids and their parents as well. And I do thank you for sharing your journey, your insights with our Offbeat family. It's been really interesting, and I hope to continue to follow your travels on Instagram, and maybe we'll talk again in the future to see how the kids are doing and how,
Yeah,
what's
that
next
would
on
be
your area.
great.
What's
That would be great to kind of get their perspective of travel. Now that they're getting older, I think they're kind of getting their own perspective of how it's influenced their life.
definitely, I'm sure they are. My son, he has his own thoughts on it. Last year, he told me he's looking for the fastest internet in the world. So that was his goal then. So
Has he
every,
found it?
he thought it was going to be in Japan, but he was sorely surprised that it was not. Um,
Oh,
we have not taken him to Dubai yet. I've told him that
that's what I was gonna
I
ask.
think it's going to be the fastest when we get down there. But no, he doesn't love it here in Cambodia because the internet goes out all the time. We get so many blackouts and yeah. So, but he has his opinion on the internet in every place that we've been, and he could
I
probably
love
write a
that.
book on that.
I love that though, right? So he's like comparing and contrasting and realizing we all have the internet, but how the internet works is different.
Exactly. And
I love that.
so it's very, very interesting. So tell people how they can get in touch with you, how they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me two ways. My social media is the Traveling Twin Mama with one L, the US way of traveling, the Traveling Twin Mama. And then my website, you can do the travelingtwinmama.com or Marquitas with the S, MARQUITAS, travels with the S.com.
Very good. And why should somebody follow your Instagram?
Ooh. So I think especially if you are a mom or you want to become a mom and you're having a hard time understanding the how, or you need some inspiration to show others it can be done, then that is my Instagram. I talk about travel after kids. So in I do tons of solo vacations. I just came back from a mamacation, which is me by myself. I do that. I work, so I travel for work. I travel with the kids. I travel with my husband. I do girls trips. I have not stopped traveling. I travel in all the different ways, right? And I have kids. So you can do it. And I try to inspire and educate other moms on how to do that.
Very, very awesome. So everybody, again, keep up with Marquita's adventures. Visit marquitasTravels.com or follow her on
Yes.
Instagram at the Traveling Twin Mama.
Yes.
And this week, let's do a little challenge. Anybody listening, just tell your kids a story from a trip, real or imaginary, and ask them what they do differently. Spark some curiosity in their lives. See how they grow, how they surprise you with their worldview, just one conversation at a time. Until next time,
Okay.
everybody, thank you, Marquita. Thank you, listeners. We'll talk soon.
We just wanna see something bigger than us, to see and smell and taste something completely new. We just wanna travel the